রাজধানী জুড়েই তাণ্ডবলীলা, বেরিয়ে আসছে একের পর এক ধ্বংসযজ্ঞ
সহ নানা স্থাপনা আজকে আগুন দেওয়া হয়েছে, যানবাহন পুড়িয়ে দেওয়া হয়েছে শত শত।
কারণ অনেক মানুষ এটাকে নানানভাবে এখন বলছেন, সেক্ষেত্রে শিক্ষার্থীদের এই আন্দোলন কোটা সংস্কার আন্দোলন হিসেবেই আছে, নাকি এটা একটা রাজনীতির রূপ নিয়েছে?
কোথাও যে রাস্তায়, বিশেষ করে গতকাল এবং আজকে স্পেশালি ছাত্ররা কি মাঠে ছিল? আমার তো মনে হয় যে 10% ছাত্র ছিল না।
Praising the government, asking no critical questions, bashing the opposition, referring to protesters as terrorists, and abusing the media houses that are critical of the governing party. This is the Godi Media of Bangladesh.
Yes, Ravish Kumar's terminology has crossed borders and has become a part of Bangladesh's common speak.
Bangladeshi citizens feel like a large part of their media act as lapdogs of the government, aka Godi Media. For over a decade now, this is how the media functioned in the neighboring country. Timid, unquestioning, controlled, and always careful not to offend those in power. The journalists and editors we spoke to said they routinely received calls from intelligence agencies on which stories to publish and which to drop.
When they crossed the line, they were targeted with cases and arrests. They had their licenses revoked or advertisements stopped. Many journalists were even forced to go into exile.
And then, of course, there were the infamous press conferences, which local journalists jokingly refer to as praise conferences. Let's show you why.
ইদানিং শোনা যাচ্ছে বাংলাদেশকে কারা নাকি ভাই বিক্রি করতে চাচ্ছে। বিস্মিত এক দোকানি বলে, একই কথা, হায় আল্লাহ, বাংলাদেশকে ভাবতে লাগবে কত বড় গাড়ি পাল্লা।
অলৌকিক আনন্দের ভার বিধাতা যাহারে দেন, বক্ষে তার বেদনা অপার। ধন্যবাদ মাননীয় প্রধানমন্ত্রী, আপনাকে খুব সুন্দর লাগছে আপা।
আপনি সবসময় বিষ খেয়ে বিষ হজম করতে জানেন, যার কারণে সব সমালোচনাকে উপেক্ষা করি।
এত সাফল্য, অর্থাৎ আপনি আন্তর্জাতিক, আসলে আপনার হাতে কি ম্যাজিক আছে যে আবার দুনিয়াটাকে এক করে ফেললেন?
This is what a typical press conference by Sheikh Hasina looked like.
Believe it or not, almost every question began by praising dear leader Hasina. The questions were usually framed in a way that gave Hasina an opportunity to criticize the opposition party.
Not long after Sheikh Hasina left, thousands of anti-government protesters stormed her official residence.
Cut to July. When students started protesting, it was initially for a single cause. Their protest was against the court's decision to reinstate quotas for government jobs to relatives of freedom fighters.
Those benefit from the quota system were largely seen as supporters of Awami League, given the party's contribution to Bangladesh's 1971 war for independence from Pakistan.
But the movement became much more than that. It was about Hasina's arrogance, like calling the protesters Razakars, a slur used for those who collaborated with Pakistan during the 1971 war.
It was about rising unemployment rates. It was about corruption in Hasina's government.
And it was about the media, which had let them down, for not holding the government accountable, for twisting the truth, for ignoring public issues, for being puppets of Sheikh Hasina.
The handling of protests by the media only made the situation worse. Students accused the media of twisting the narrative and even issued a list of Godi journalists they wanted banned.
So, when Hasina resigned and fled the country dramatically on August 5th, the media landscape changed overnight. The defenders of the government became their biggest critics. Newspapers started publishing critical stories against the government that were earlier buried due to self-censorship.
The media hailed the students as heroes who saved the nation, but public did not forget. Dozens of media houses were vandalized, burned.
Journalists were arrested, named in genocide cases. People quite literally threw eggs on them, and some journalists were even sacked. Many prominent reporters are still in hiding, and cases against media houses have been mounting. The media did not get here overnight. There are a lot of factors that contributed to the downfall of the media, including ownership patterns, draconian laws, politicization of the media industry, and a bruised country that has rarely seen a healthy democracy.
We spent weeks digging into the media landscape of Bangladesh. Our story is available for the subscribers of Newslaundry and the News Minute.
And we promise that it will give you perspective on what happens when the fourth pillar of democracy is sacrificed to the point of no return.
Such stories take time and resources. We spoke to 24 journalists across the border,
including some who have been in exile for years. This kind of journalism is not possible without your help. Support independent media. Head on to newslaundry/subscription and choose a contribution amount of your choice.
pay to keep news free.